flip down. You gotta get the flip down shades. The flip down. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Thank you, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, in 5 decades on TV, my first guest tonight has covered every major event in American politics and interviewed everyone from Putin to Michael Jordan. He's now written a new book called Countdown 1960. Please welcome back to The Late Show, Chris Wallace.
You know why I write these books?
Why do you write those books?
Because then you invite me on your show, so I get to see you about every 2 or 3 years.
I always enjoy talking to you, and I think the audience does too. It's nice to have you during an election season, especially. We'll definitely get to the book. What's it called again? Countdown 1960.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll definitely.
Isn't that a great cover? Look at the cover. It is Kennedy and Nixon in the first televised debate, and that's behind the scenes at WBBM in Chicago. 70 million people watched, and it completely revolutionized American politics.
It is nice, but I want you to know, Chris, I don't judge a book by its cover.
Well, fortunately, a lot of book readers do.
Okay, good. It's a fine cover. Now, I like having you during an election season. As I said in the intro, during your time in journalism, you've spoken to everybody. You've done everything. You've covered everything. But what has it been like to be a journalist, especially one who covers politics specifically, since early summer this year? Say, since the first Trump-Biden debate. Take me through your emotional journey.
Well, there's a great quote. I read it in the paper recently that Vladimir Lenin, the man who started the Soviet Union, supposedly said, there are decades when nothing happens, and there are weeks when decades happen. And that's the way I feel about the last 2 months. Wow. I mean, you go back to June 27th, and it really was just 2 months ago, the Trump-Biden debate, which was a revelation,
Yes.
you know, really pretty shocking.
An eye-opener.
Yes.
Yeah, an eye-opener.
And then the push to make him leave, to make him decide that he should leave graciously.
Had you met that Biden, by the way? In other words, like
No.
I had never seen that guy either.
No.
Yeah, that was quite shocking.
And that, I think, is a question that's been not fully answered, and frankly hasn't been answered fully by Kamala Harris. Had she seen that Biden? Because it doesn't seem possible, you know, because all we heard about is, oh, you should see him in the Oval Office. He's in charge. And
he does handsprings.
Right. And he was actually considering doing the breakdancing during the 24 Olympics in Paris.
But he would have been better. Yes.
But so the question is, did he miraculously, that Biden, appear, or had that Biden been around for a while? And if that's true, to what degree did Kamala Harris and the people around Joe Biden in the White House kind of cover it up from the American voters? I mean, it's a serious question.
So 1 month later, Joe Biden drops out. Were you shocked by that?
No, I mean, one of the things I would say about being a political reporter is you're able to sort of see around the corner. And, you know, there were a variety of things that happened. George Clooney, who's a good, loyal Democrat and really likes Joe Biden, wrote that devastating article in the New York Times and said he should leave. And the real killer moment was he said, I'm staying in the race. And Nancy Pelosi, the former Speaker of the House, who may be the toughest person in Washington, was being interviewed and said, well, when he makes up his mind, and the interviewer said, well, no, he's made up his mind. She said, well, yeah, but when he really makes up his mind.
Yes.
And the word, the word
we want to give him all the time he needs to make the decision he feels is best.
Yes. And no.
I was like a mom saying, is that what you're wearing?
Yes.
Well, as long as
exactly.
you're comfortable in it.
That was a giveaway that he might have thought he was staying, but he wasn't staying.
Now, the big news today everybody's covering is Jack Smith's filing in the 2020 election case, or rather his evidentiary filing having to do with whether Donald Trump's actions were official In other words, someone in office or someone seeking office.
Right, because
And
of the Supreme Court's
said-
crazy ruling.
Yes.
I mean, we went for 250 years without presidents having immunity for official acts. I mean,
Right.
nobody talked about that with Richard Nixon and Watergate or Ronald Reagan with Iran-Contra, but suddenly an official act, you couldn't break the law, which, one, strikes me as complete nonsense, and two, has resulted in Jack Smith having to write this brief saying, well, yeah, but when he did this, yeah, he was in the Oval Office, but he was using his private phone, so it was an unofficial act.
He didn't enter to hail to the chief.
Yes, that's right. As
Exactly.
you did in your monologue.
Exactly. So, you know, in some ways, I think it's a ridiculous ruling too. It's a dangerous, it's a chilling ruling in another way. But no Supreme Court has ever had to address anything like this before. There's a reason why there hasn't been a ruling is there's never been someone who's been so overtly criminal before.
Well, I'm not a good enough student of American history to know whether that's literally the case, but there is certainly nobody who has contested an election and tried to interfere and sabotage the peaceful transfer of power like Donald Trump. And so they were forced to make they didn't have to take the case. They didn't even have to do that. They could have said, there's a law. Remember Richard Nixon, Yes, well, yes.
We're segueing to the book
No.
here. Richard Nixon,
yes.
who features prominently in Countdown 1960. It's a beautiful cover. Don't even read the book. Just look at the cover and show your friends.
What's inside it is even better than what's on the outside. But having said that, Richard Nixon, during Watergate in 1974, the Supreme Court ruled that he couldn't keep the tapes that were hidden. He had to, because it involved the possibility of a crime and had to be turned over. So, the kind of feeling in the Supreme Court seemed to be, up to that point, the precedent was that a president, as opposed to a precedent, was not shielded from the law. So this was new law that the Supreme Court decided, and I don't know, the fact that it has a 6-3 conservative majority and 3 of the justices were appointed by Donald Trump, I'm sure is totally coincidental.
Nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. And 3 of the justices who were in the majority actually worked for the Bush campaign in 2000 and were down there around the time of the Brooks Brothers riot, which was essentially the model for the January 6th riot. It's quite a damning indictment of the Supreme Court, not just of Donald Trump. He doesn't hide his contempt for the Supreme Court in this filing.
You really hold a grudge, don't you? We're not over
I
the
just read it.
2000
I read it
election?
thoroughly. A grudge against someone who tried to destroy democracy?
No, I'm talking about 2000.
Oh, about that. Yeah, I do. We have to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Chris Wallace, everybody. Stick around.